Hey guys, CD here. Just gonna be back with, well, I haven't been here. This is the second video I'm making. Yeah, I have been away. A lot of things have been going on, and like I said, I want to, as I said, I do like the idea. I love the idea that I want to have time for my family, time for work, and time for this now as well, because I've seen the happiness that it brings people to make these kind of videos, and I want to try and experience that myself. And I also feel like this would be a very cool thing to leave my daughter, so she's like, oh, I want to try cybersecurity when I'm older. I want to try anything she wants, but if she wants to try cybersecurity, I hope maybe this channel would be like something that she uses. Maybe she might use someone else popular. Hopefully I'm popular by the time she's able to use YouTube. Don't know how long that's gonna happen, but future Dwayne's problem, not my problem. So but yeah, enough rambling. But one of the main things that I've been focusing on is, because obviously I want to try and do the Security Plus exam really quick, really soon, because I've been holding it off and all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing practice tests with this amazing book. Amazing. So if I quickly just show you here, as you can see, Domain 1 I've always been decent at, Domain 2 always decent at, Domain 3 let's ignore that for now. As you can see, however, Domain 4 and 5, my scores have been improving up until the most recent ones. So I'm going to properly sit down with Domain 3, and yeah, so there's that. And then another thing that I have found that's been really good for me as well when it comes to revising for this has been flashcards. I've made a flashcard for all ports, and oh god, there's so many of them. I don't have to remember all of them because I'll try, but it's just there's a lot. I know you guys already know that, but yeah. So what we're going to be doing today, however, because that was just a little intro, just a little thing. But what we're going to be doing today, however, is we're going to make an Active Directory, and it's going to be a very basic one, because yeah, let's just make it very basic, right? So just to understand what's going on, the Active Directory will have, I'm making this on my personal computer instead of my laptop. My laptop will be a lot better, however this has the recording station, all that kind of stuff. What's going to be able to do is we're going to make an Active Directory. We'll have the domain, and in that domain, various other VMs will be able to connect locally and be able to access the internet through that Active Directory. Yeah, I feel like that. We'll explain as we go along. I'll stop and explain and all that kind of stuff. Another thing is, the process does take forever, when it comes to file installation and configuration, all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my recording and just skip ahead, and then you guys can just restart it once you go into that part. The goal is, what we want to be able to do is just to be able to put that we have some system configuration skills on our CV, because as soon as you've done this, I wouldn't say it's a basic kind of thing, but I mean, in all honesty, I've spoken to, I think 2 recruiters have spoken to me about it when I posted on LinkedIn, and they were like, oh, that's really cool, and I was like, yeah, thank you, and then it was kind of dead end from there. But as you know, the job market right now is hell, so with fingers crossed that it works out amazing for you. But let's get started. Okay, so we'll go to VirtualBox, or create. Yes, of course. Oh god, sorry. Wrong create. My machine new, and then we will call this one. We'll call it Cyber AD. Okay, and the ISO, I will put the ISO download location in the description, if anything. But yeah, I'll put it there. And then there we go. And if you have a similar, like when you get onto the machine creation, if it looks similar to this, make sure, because you will not have the option to select it when configuring, like when you actually start configuring the download process. So make sure you chose edition and you pick desktop experience. Okay, just desktop experience. Don't think it really matters between the two of them, but just for this video's sake, I'm gonna pick standard edition. And then for this, for username, we will go with admin, if I can spell. Sorry guys. Just have the simple password of root. Hardware, but because this is the only VM we'll be running at this point in time, in later videos I will show you how to configure it so that any device that's on your local area network, or LAN, let's just say LAN, I don't know why I'm being called posh and all that kind of stuff, on your LAN will be able to connect to it. Any VM on it will be able to connect to it and then browse the internet through this Active Directory, which would be awesome, wouldn't it? And then you can even like make a little video, post it on LinkedIn, and all that kind of stuff. LinkedIn, it's fun. Sometimes you get to see your friends achieving really cool things, which everyone loves. Everyone loves it. So we'll finish, but before that, we'll just make sure to stop this, because we don't want that starting just yet, because there's one more thing we have to do, if it lets me. Yep, we'll go into settings, and then for network, at this point in time, we'll just leave it as, leave this one as an internal, but at a later time, we'll change it to bridged adapter. So when it comes to connecting on the local area network, but for now, it's just internal. We'll just call it, yeah, we'll leave it as that. We're not trying to do anything fancy at this point in time. So now we'll start it, and like I said, once it gets started, we'll go through the installation process, and I'll fast forward it, so you'll only be seeing the actual when we're actually doing stuff, and you're just staring at a screen that looks boring, because no one wants to stare at a screen that is boring. We want to be excited and motivated, because I have the attention span of a toddler, and I don't even have a toddler yet, so I'm sure my daughter's one will be much better than mine. But yeah. So I'm going to restart the recording again when it starts the installation process, so you can see that it's going at the right place, like so you can see that your screen is looking correct, basically. So yeah, so setup is starting, and yeah, it takes forever. It really does. Like I was able to clean all the bottles, all her bottles she has. At this point in time, she has 6, and then this takes forever, absolutely forever. Like I promise. I was able to clean her bottles, dry them, refill the formula, and then I also just quickly ran to Co-op, because we got Co-op here. I don't know if you're in America, you'll have something else. I don't know if you have Co-op in America, but that's not important. And grab what I was gonna have for breakfast. I'm having chicken Alfredo tonight, which, well, tonight I said breakfast, but for dinner. So, yes. But let me pause recording and then start it back up once we're on the next stage. Yep, as you can see, this took actually quite some time. Jeez. I think they were installing the server or something. Do you get it? You get it? I'm quite funny actually in real life. My girlfriend doesn't believe so. Siblings probably don't really think so either. They just have to because I'm the oldest. So I'm gonna put timestamps, obviously, so you don't have to listen to my waffling and you don't have to look at these loading screens. But Also, mine might be a bit different from yours. Yours might not load straight into the desktop. It might like ask you to configure your Windows account. Just pick like every option that allows you to like skip signing up for anything. Just skip it, because it's like an internal thing. You don't need to be sending them any diagnostics or anything like that. This is just something that you're doing for yourself, and we'll set up everything. We'll set up everything that we need. We don't need much, because what we wanted to be able to do is just be able to first connect to the internet. That's the final thing. We just want to be able to connect to the internet. Create a user that's able to connect to the internet. Right? That's it. And then, like I said, in the future video, I'll show you how, like, I'll have this computer and I'll have my laptop that will be able to connect to this Active Directory and connect to the internet through the Active Directory. I'll pause it again because this is taking a bit longer. Here we are. Finally, this might also take a bit of time. Hopefully it doesn't. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, like I said, what we're also going to do, we're not going to download everything one at a time, because we don't need to do that. We're going to download everything all at once, so it's just out of the way, and then we'll configure it as we go along. Like there are steps that you have to do it in a certain order, so we're going to go through that order. I'm going to go through all the things. There's like some kind of things that you can do to make your life a bit easier, but they're not all that necessary. So the first thing that we can do is, if we go to, as you can see on my mouse, if you go to devices, you can see here it says insert guest edition CD image. Just click that, and once this is loaded up a bit more, I'll show you what that does for us, and then from there we'll go on to the second step. And as I said, we have to download a few things. There's not much, but as I said, I'll pause it. I want to try and keep this video under 20 minutes because it does not need to be over that, in all honesty, because we're not inventing the wheel. Don't think, in all honesty, what other shapes would they have made other than the wheel? But let's not get into that, because I did not do well in history, so if it even is, but yeah. So just click that, because we don't really need to know all that stuff. Go to File Explorer. As you can see, this PC. All things going on in plenty of time. But yeah, while it's loading, actually, again, I can't stress this enough. There you go. Can't stress this enough. This book, absolutely amazing. Because there's so many questions for each domain, I go through them once. Like, I don't go through all of them, but like as you saw, I take like 20 questions at a time, 40 questions at a time. I go through each domain, and then obviously because I'm working and doing all that kind of stuff, I won't say I forget the questions entirely, but I do forget like reading the, because there's obviously answers at the back as well. Oh, 1 second. So just click VirtualBox Guest Edition, then you click the AMD 64. It'll ask you to install some things. I'll install. Open the wizard, click next again, install. It will ask you to reboot it. Do not reboot it just yet, because we want to try and minimize the amount of times that we have to do that. So, because it just takes forever. So trying to minimize as much waiting that we really don't need to do, because this project is literally just it's like a 40. The longest thing that you do is waiting for the machine to get ready. That's really it. So we'll go to Server Manager, add roles. Skip this page by default just in case we have to go back here. So let's type role based. And go here again. Okay, as you can see, there's multiple different Active Domain, Active Directory ones. What we're going to be using is the domain service one. Add features. We need, because it's also going to act as a DHCP server. I'm going to grab that. This is also going to be doing the routing for us as well. Like it's going to work as a NAT as well for the various other various other VMs. I'm going to grab that as well. Cool. And now we just have to go through one more time. Yes, of course. Of course. We're going to click routing, add. It's going to grab some other things as well. Going to go next and install. While that's installing, let's quickly go and change something. So as you remember, we have two Ethernet adapters. There's one that's connected to the internet and one that'll be internal. Okay. What we're gonna do is go to our network and internet settings. Just gonna quickly change one. Change the names of them. I'm sorry. There we go. What's that? See, unidentified network. That's most likely the one. What we're gonna do is we're gonna assign an IP address for it, because we're gonna assign an IP range for it. But we want a static IP address for this because obviously think of it like this: when you're in a network, industrial network, not industrial network, a work setting, right? The printers and all that kind of stuff, printers and like the main servers will have a static IP address. So this has to have a static IP address because the DHCP server can't be assigning this and then the computers will be looking all over the place for this specific server. So we're going to assign it. Let's go, because there's a small network anyway. It's a small, so we'll go with a C-class private IP address. So we'll go with 192.168. We'll go with 0 with 1. So as you can see, 255.255.255 class C, and because this is also going to act as a DNS server as well, we can use a loopback address. We can put the IP address back down here, or we can use a loopback address. Loopback address is 127.0.0.1. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to change the name of this. So, because we're going to need to know the name, we're going to change that to internal. I'm going to change this to external. If I know how to spell it. I cannot spell as well, that's another thing. So I hope my daughter does not ask me for help with her homework because we're both gonna fail. But yeah, let's just quickly check the properties because we want this to be, it's gonna be assigned automatically. So there we go, it's perfect. And just to make sure everything is all good, we are going to go to CMD. Actually, you know what? Just so you can see as to why we're doing this and how I knew the unidentified network is the one that, is the internal one. Let's just go back. and I'll change it back to obtain IP automatically. So if I do IP config, yeah, sorry, I opened it before I changed it, so let's IP config. Okay, it's just gonna always stick like that. But what we would see is in that paper address, which should be is 194.168. I'll search up later. Let me not get it wrong, and then I'm curious now. No, curiosity killed the cat. We'll search up. I was curious. So we would be seeing 169.254 or just whatever random, right? So let's go back, just make sure again that this is, choose this one. So it will be 192.168.0.1. Now the internal one should be, let's just check again to make sure. CD. Okay, even adapter internal, there we go. External one, there we go. Awesome source. Now let's go back and see how the download is going. Close this, that's not needed. Close that, that's not needed. Close that, that's not needed. And hasn't finished. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna go back. And we're back again. I just had an Apple. Boy, sorry, before that. Everything's installed. Awesome. Now what we need to do is configure some things, right? So we're gonna first, the Active Directory is the first step. So obviously we promote it to domain controller. Awesome. Make sure you do this. Add New Forest, and this is where you can type in the name of your domain. So obviously it's CD. We're gonna go with cyber. Sorry, always forget this part. .com. But I remember New Forest. New Forest. Cameras like up there, so it's like, and here it's not really important, so we'll just choose when it finally loads. It takes forever to load, but yeah, as I said, just had, like, went to a shop today, like I said earlier, bought a bag of apples. Like, it was like a fairly big bag of apples for £3.26 at Lidl, and I was so excited because they were like really big, really dark red. I was hoping they were going to be crunchy. They were all soft. Well, the one I ate was soft, which kind of ruined my mood. So yeah, but that's some information about me, I guess. More information about me, because I don't like silence. It's learned to love silence. But yeah, okay, finally loaded. So we'll just have the password as capital letter, password 1. Yeah. You can skip that when this loads again. But yeah, this will be the final time I bring it up, I promise. Final time. So yeah, just I'd cop it, I get it, and also if you're paying for, because I am currently in a boot camp, so it's all included in, like, the ticket coupon for this is all included in my thingy. But if you were just gonna do it out of your, like, by itself, yourself kind of thing, This does come with a 10% off, which in the UK, I'm pretty sure the exam is £220. So, I'm sorry, 10% off is awesome. I should have pressed that sooner. Sorry guys. I really wanted to keep this under 30 minutes. But what I'm going to do is, every single time, as soon as it starts, any installation process starts, I'm going to pause it. And yeah, so for now, I'm going to pause it because this does take a bit of time to load, and then I'll just show you what happens when, all you really have to do is just, once this is all loaded up and the install button becomes available, just click install, and like it says here, automatically reboots, and all you have to do is just wait. Once it's rebooted, then we can move on to the next step. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, after the next step, after it's rebooted, like, we're pretty much done. In all honesty, it's pretty much done. Because, but yeah, let me click install. And, like, well, after this Active Directory setup, what we need to do is configure, just assign a scope for the DHCP server to be assigning IP addresses to the VMs that are going to be communicating through this, and then create a user that's going to be in this domain because we'd like to see so and so's name slash cyber, and then we've got the Active Directory, domain controller, DHCP server, DNS, and finally well, the final stage is setting up thingy, and now I'm done. But yes, let me pause it. Okay, well, let's try and wrap this up as quickly as possible because I do not have much time left. Okay, so all we need to do, all we have left to do is, one, initialize the DHCP server, which we need to create a new scope, and then we have to start the NAT as well, and it's done. So this always takes forever. Like I said, so I'm not going to restart it until it's finished. Okay, like I said, just click here, complete. Just gonna go commit, close. Yeah, that was my fault, sorry. Sorry, I had to run down the stairs. So we're gonna go to Tools, DHCP server. All we're gonna do right now is just start a new scope. And then, sorry. IPv4 scope. The title will just 192.168.0.100. That's it. It's just 192.168.0.100, 192.168.0.220. Why not? Ignore that. This is just how long the machine will hold the IP address. We have so many, and there'll only be like one VM at a time, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, click yes. The default gateway will be the IP address of the Active Directory. So 192.168.0. Add, next, next again, yes, finish. That's it. Let's refresh this. It will change. Then we'll move on. So we'll go Tools, and we'll go to Routing and Remote Access. And we will configure Routing and Remote Access. Make sure you choose Network Address Translation. Next, Create on Demand. This is always a problem. It takes a bit of time. Sorry. There we go. And now the public facing IP address is obviously the external. Finish. Sorry, a lot of things happened all at once. I had to run around like a crazy person. Yes, the routing has finished. If we just check, this will show that there's no internet access. Check now if we do have access to the internet. Regardless, it will always, for me at least, it always shows that we don't have access to the internet. But we'll find out in a second. If we do, great. If we don't, still is fine at this point in time. And from the looks of it, give it a second. To Microsoft Edge. Let's just try. Obviously, I'm so sorry. Bing, but we are gonna have to try Google if I can spell, which I cannot, like I said earlier. And there we go. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And the final step is what I said. I'm gonna show you how to make a user. Because in the Security Plus exam, I'm pretty sure they ask you to do group policies, user creation, and you just have to actually understand the process. So now that you've configured your, let's just do that. Follow. Awesome. Yeah, sorry. I should have done this ages ago. So sorry about that. We'll do the final thing, which is we go to Windows Administrator Tools, and then you'll see there's a bunch of Active Directories. But what we want obviously is Active Directory users and computers, right? So, as you can see, there's our domain, cyber.com. You see there's a bunch of different things: bulletin, computers, domain controllers, foreign security principles, managed service accounts, users. For now, ignore all of that. Ignore all of it. We don't have to worry about anything. Don't have to worry about anything at all. What you'll do first is you'll create a new, as you can see, inside the domain. Create a new organizational unit. There we go. Untick that. What should I call them? Let's just call them admins. Yeah, let's call them admins. There we go. And then in there is where we can now make a user. Obviously, the first user will have to be myself. I'm sorry. And fun fact about me, I have an apostrophe in my name. Yeah. I was told that my dad liked it. I didn't need to be different. But for my last name, I just call myself Cyber. Being very corny. And for this, it'll be CD. There we go. Now, password, as always, since this is not a corporate environment, I'm just going to go with a simple password. And because we're not really testing like admin rights or like admin setup and all that kind of stuff, all we're really going to do is just a password never expires. Obviously, we don't want to take this one because what if I want to change parameter like features of the user? That'd be kind of crazy. So just gonna have password never expires. There we go. And all the details: full name, login name, password never expires. Finish. And let's check everything. So there my details are. Obviously, I can't put out my phone number because I don't want you guys calling me. But right now it's just a domain user. But obviously we want him to be a domain admin as well. There we go, we'll set that as a primary. No, you don't have to. Well, why not? It doesn't change anything really, I guess. I'm sure it does. But I don't currently know. So there we go. I will, after this one, be doing a quick just look around the group policy feature, which will definitely be only 6 to 7 minutes at most, because this one I'm a lot longer than I should have. But now I'll just test out the final thing, which is close that, sign out, and then input. C.D. Hopefully, like it shows here, we'll be signing into awesome. And hopefully when we go to our user details, it will show that we are in the domain and that we'll also still be able to connect to the internet from here. But like I said, I just want to show you guys how to set up an Active Directory. I was very disorganized this video, but you know, in the future, I'll make sure everything's set up previously, and then all we have to do is just kind of go through the motions. So we'll just have the information out like that, kind of thing. So as you can see, everything's still here. DHCP, DNS, remote access. These will take a bit longer, but now let's try. I prefer that. Obviously, have to be, you know, mysterious. instead of doing this, we could do sorry. If we want to be like proper fancy and all that kind of stuff, we could do when it decides to load. I'm very impatient, as you can see. Well, I'm pretty sure that works, but because you might be asked to do something similar to this, but no, you will be when it comes to using Kali Linux, which I will be showing you guys at a later time. But oh, sorry. Ping 8.8.8.8 into ping result.txt and just give it a second. There we go. As you can see, 4 packets sent, 4 packets received. There we go. So as you can see, we have internet connection on our device, and since I'm still using the Active Directory machine, my IP address should be 192.168.0.1. Yep, there we go. Awesome sauce. Thank you guys so much. This was a very long video. Did not mean to make it that long. I will put timestamps, I'll put links and all that kind of stuff in the description below. Please like and subscribe. You know, I hope you have fun. Be making a lot more content, especially now, especially since I'm on half term. Thank you again. Have a great evening. Bye.